National heritage, our breathtaking carpets, national jewelry ornaments, celestial horses, mournful Turkmen dogs, our honor and pride of our motherland, our nation. It is our worldwide fame. President of Turkmenistan, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov. Within 5,000-year history, the people deeply honored and worshipped pedigree dogs. Turkmen Alabay breed of dog, having become the best companion of our ancestors since ancient times, differ from other breeds of dog not only by appearance but also endurance, fortitude, courage, and bravery. Turkmens used to call them under various names as Aqush, Nedir, Garabash, Khangaplang, Sarvay, Alabay. This fact testifies to the fact that Turkmens were fond of their pets. All animals that inhabit the Turkmen land are very sensitive with respect to humans. Not by chance, at all times Turkmens were proud of their dogs that differ by big head and broad chest. Like Ahalteki horses, mournful carpets, Sarja breed of sheep, fine jewelry ornaments, Alabai breed of dogs are the part of national heritage of the Turkmen people. Turkmen people bred and improved the Alabai pedigree dog for 5 centuries, having preserved this breed up to the present days. Speaking about Alabai dogs, one cannot but remember 5,000-year history of the Turkmen nation, glorious past of the Turkmen. Turkmen Alabai dog took a deserving place among national values of the Turkmen people. How did Turkmens manage to preserve this ancient breed of dog for 5,000 years? It is characteristic of Turkmens to take good care of things that's so dear to them. Alabai breed of dog is among them. They used to guard domestic animal, hearth, and what is more important, they didn't touch kids. For high guarding qualities, Turkmen Alabai dogs are well known as herders. Noted for sensitiveness, Alabai were always best helpers of shepherds. They protected the flock and shepherds from attacks of predatory animals. Turkmen Alabai is a herding dog. The guard dog Alabai is the closest friend of the shepherd. Alabais are very keen-nosed. They feel the coming danger. When Alabai keeps off beast of prey from flock of sheep, the other one is left near shepherd without fail, guarding him against threat. Shepherd feeds Alabai with food, which eats himself because Alabai is invaluable helper of a shepherd in his job. During the lambing season, Alabais are on grasslands and guard the newborn lambs until shepherds come. Alabais are thoroughly selected for guiding of flocks. If puppy takes from waiters and it begins the whine, it will not justify hopes in future. If puppy will not whimper, there is a confidence that it will be a reliable guard. when it will grow up. Such puppies led to other Alabays grazing flocks in order it will learn to guard. Such dog will be very useful for shepherd.
Önkü koyun itlenmedin yanına koşup sonun öğrenip gidiyor. Bu itin beriyen peydası çopana katken.
Turkmen'in Alabay dilinde bunun belli bahası yok.
Turkmen Alabays have invaluable importance at because of their high guarding qualities. Round the clock, Alabays guard flocks, being the reliable fortress for shepherd. Turkmen Alabays are very attentive, keen-nosed. They always guard sheep. Alabays are behind the flocks because they feel the enemy's smell by wind blowing and are always ready to repulse and attack. If Alabay feels something wrong, it will not allow enemy to come near to flock. It is impossible to imagine flock of sheep as well as Turkmen home without Turkmen Alabay.
Turkmen'in itsiz mene mahallarçılıkta da öyde de itsiz mene gözünden hiç getirip bilemek.
While studying the history of Turkmen Alabays, clay images of dogs which cut tail and ears have been discovered during the archaeological excavations on the area of Altıntepe in Kakaitrab. These signs are characteristic of Turkmen Alabays, which is based on historical sources and some monuments of literature. Wide data relating life of our ancestors have been collected in the course of archaeological excavations carried out in different years on territory of such known historical and cultural monuments like Altıntepe, Namadağtepe, and as well Garatepe, located in Ahal Vilayat. Statues of different animals, ornaments with their pictures, and numerous of other valuable finds are among finds discovered during excavations. Finds with pictures of ancient representatives of Turkmen dogs are of great interest. These ancient historical monuments, which I have called earlier, belong to the 3rd and 2nd millennia before century. It is a statue made as a tie. Amazing that by appearance it reminds us the contemporary Turkmen Alabay. They are very similar. If you look very attentively, one can notice a wide chest, a huge head, bravery, courage, which proves that in old days our ancestors paid special attention to breeding of dogs. The amazing find, the statuette of a dog similar to Turkmen Alabay, was found in the course of archaeological excavations carried out on the area of the well-known historical and cultural monument Garatepe. The statuette is a striking illustration that in the beginning of the 3rd and the end of the 2nd millennium before century, people tamed dogs and worked on improvement of its breed. The scene depicted on the small jug tells about the life of our ancestors who were engaged in cattle breeding, particularly breeding of sheep, as well as that wolves of the Galloward horde did harm to flocks. Our forefathers bred such brave and courageous dogs with the purpose of protection from attacks. In case of danger, dogs became explosive, capable to lightning spark and enemies repulse. Particularly, such movement was depicted in this scene.
Galoğurt ordasından korunmak için kamil itlerin onların karşısında durup bilecek şeyi itlerin zerur bolandığını anlayan bir fırsat olup duruyor.
People say measure 7 times and cut once. Particularly, the cutting of ears is made according to this principle. The question is arising why it is necessary to cut dogs' ears, which is not practiced in the world. It should be said that our ancestors answered this question long ago, and today Alabay's tails and ears are cut everywhere.
Bizim
Tradition of breeding of Turkmen Alabays has been improved during many centuries and has become one of the most important components of their national culture. Our ancestors tried to bring up Alabays on traditions peculiar to the Turkmen people from time immemorial. Such outward signs like large head, huge size, wide and deep chest, long legs, bear's paws, black nose, sharp teeth, thick lips are peculiar to Turkmen Alabay. There is such saccule in place where lips are ended, which helps them to breathe during fights with enemy. Black eyes, wide forehead, a big distance between ears are characteristic of Alabay. This characteristic feature is peculiar only to Turkmen Alabay, not met in other breeds. Thick neck, wide chest, thick and strong legs, rounded ribs are signs characteristic of Alabays. Wide chest and rounded ribs created a light breathing. Alabay was wide, plain, powerful and strong back. Back legs are straight, the place of legs joining is curved a little. The legs' thighs are wide. The excellent hearing is one more peculiar characteristic of Turkmen Alabays. They are capable to hear sounds in 150 to 200 meters distance, which people can hear from 5-6 meters. Turkmen Alabay are hardy. They easily endure hot and cold weather. They have an excellent sense of smell. All these features are characteristic only of Turkmen Alabays. Exhibition of Turkmen Alabays are held rather often. Not long ago, the exhibition of Turkmen Alabays was held in Russian Federation. This Alabay, by name Boynok, became the winner of the exhibition and increased the glory of Turkmen Alabays all over the world.
Türkmen alabaytının iyi talcılığım güçlü oluyor. Şulardaki geçen datlarım Türkmen tüne qabat gelmeli. Türkmenlerinin bäsleşikleri geçirilip dur. Yan yakınına Rusya devletinin Pskov şäherine Türkmenlerinin sergisi geçirildi. Hem bäsleşikleri bolly. Şolna şu oryantimizin hem adı Boynok. Şultem hem serginin yeňjiti hem bäsleşigiň yeňjiti bolup
Our Alabays became worthy representatives of their breed and at the exhibition in Kazakhstan as well, where they became the prize winners. We'll do our utmost, apply our experience and knowledge for improvement of this breed and preservation of its purity for next generations furthermore. Well-known Turkmen Alabays play an important role in the life of the Turkmen people and peculiarly in cattle breeding. Taking into consideration the world fame of Turkmen Alabays, the ethnology discipline was introduced at the cattle breeding faculty of Turkmen Agricultural University. The main aim of introduction of this discipline consists in such aspects like study of history of Turkmen Alabays and their breeding. Further improvement of Turkmen Alabays breed, of course, foster the share of specialists and amateur fanciers of this breed. Carrying out the selection work is the purpose of improvement of this breed. Rearing of only pedigree Turkmen Alabays, preservation of this breed for next generations, and increase of fame of Turkmen Alabays all over the world is the task of contemporary specialists. Thorough preservation of living monuments of Turkmen culture Turkmen Alabay is an affair of honor of the entire Turkmen people. Exhibition of Turkmen Alabays, which promote the selection of the best representatives of Turkmen Alabays breed, are regularly held in this purpose in Turkmenistan and abroad. In the epoch of great revival and grandiose reforms, Turkmen Alabay is an inseparable part of rich cultural heritage of the Turkmen people.
Turkmen alabayları var arada söz açılanına elbette bu.
Speaking about Turkmen Alabay ducks, lines from book Ahalteke, Our Pride and Glory by the esteemed president should be mentioned, which say that Ahalteke horses, Turkmen Alabay ducks, Turkmen carpets, national jewelry decorations, musical instruments, dutar, all these are spiritual values created by our people. We know that the history of Turkmen Alabays is very old. The Turkmen people grew and improved the Alabay breed of dogs during the 5,000 years and could preserve the purity of breed up to the present day. Historical sources, written monuments prove the ancient history of Turkmen Alabays. This breed of dogs was called Alabay because they have spots in their coloration. It is one of the peculiarities of Turkmen Alabays. As of date, there is only one breed of dogs which preserved the most ancient features, were not subjected to the influence of other breeds. The type of fearless, devoted, strong, hardy, reliable, noble Turkmen Alabay with massive muscle and powerful jaws. One more peculiarity of Turkmen Alabay characterizing its race is that it breeds not more 2 puppies a year. That is, practically Alabay has not more than 2 offsets. If Alabay breeds more than 2 puppies, it is considered non-pedigree. All these peculiarities are characteristics only of Turkmen Alabays, because in other countries, particularly in the states of Central Asia, if take any breed of dog or breeds mixed with Alabay, one can meet very seldom when dog breeds 1 or 2 puppies. It is proved from scientific viewpoint that Turkmen Alabays are very clever. They like children, and was the most important fact, they do not touch children, weak and defenseless people. Turkmen people preserved all these qualities during their history. Particularly for this reason, devotion and faithfulness is characteristic of Turkmen Alabay dogs. Turkmen Alabays took deserving place among national values of the Turkmen people. Alabay's tail and ears was always cut off at all times.
Her bir adam özünün durmuşunda onu görüp bilýär. Şol ýaş çağalara özünden ejide hiç wagt gaýta ul bermeýär.
Our forefathers did it in old times as well. The main reason of it is that dogs with uncut tails and ears cannot justify your hopes in future. It is known that cutting ears of Alabay brings to sharpening of hearing, and cutting of tail promotes dog to be courageous. If tail is not cut, it grows to definite length and dog will be able to cover its nose with tail. Such dog which used to cover its nose in order to it will not be frozen, is grown weak. Cutting of tails is made in order dog will not be able to cover its nose in the cold weather. Turkmen people are very wise. They have many proverbs, and dog begins to freeze from nose and to sweat from tongue is one of them. Dog which nose is not frozen is lazy and non-hardly. For these reasons, at all times, Turkmen people cut Alabay's tails and ears. In the epoch of Great Revival and grandiose reforms, immense attention is given to the issues of revival of ancient traditions of the Turkmen people, particularly traditions of breeding Turkmen Alabays. One can speak endlessly about advantages of Turkmen Alabays. During the whole history of Turkmen people, Alabay, as well as Ahalteke racer, was devoted friend of Turkmen people. Today, the Turkmen people treat noble creatures, Ahalteke horse and Alabay, with deep respect. Today, Ahalteke horse decorates state emblem of Turkmenistan, and Alabay dog is decoration of the Turkmen home.
Şol itin hasabyna Türkmen özünün geçmişini, öz watanyny, öz mukaddes ojagyny, özünün Ahalteke aty hemde şu Alabay iti bilen gorap geldi, şuun kuğuneçenni. Şonun üçin
During several millennia, the Turkmen people carried out works on improvement of breed and preservation of its pedigree. Alabays are living monuments of Turkmen culture, national heritage of the nation, golden font of cattle breeding culture in the epoch of Great Revival and grandiose achievements. The President of Turkmenistan gives a special attention to breeding of Ahalteke horses and Turkmen Alabays.
Şuun kuğunna oldu. Täze galkynçylar hem de beýik özgörtmeler zamanamyzda Mehriban prezidentimizin yol başçylygynda şu mallarçylyk pudogy, owu hojulugy galy bersede şoň içinden alanynda Türkmeniň ahalteke aty bilen Alabay itine
Wide data relating to history of Alteke horse Alabai as well as Turkmen greyhound Teyze is given in the book Alteke, Our Pride and Glory by the esteemed president. This breed, the glory of which is spread all over the world, was originated particularly on the Turkmen land.
Ahalteke atyna we Alabay itine bolan çäksiz söýgüsiniň ýene de bir aýdyň suwtnamasydyr. Şonuň üçin biz arkaýyn aýdyp bilýäs, Türkmen Alabay itiniň dowamat bolar. Sebäbi dören ýeri topragy, biziň Türkmen topragymyzda gelecekde ähli ýurtlary özüniň bir it tohumy ýokmunda bir aňketjek Türkmen Alabay tohumlaryny biz dol derejede aýdyp bileriz.